Hello and welcome to my channel, AB Make It Artwork, where we do what we do to make that artwork for you. And if you're new to my channel, maybe hit that subscribe button. Join the AB Creative Crew. We do sketchy art things. If you saw my previous video, this is Commissions and Prices Part 2. In Part 1, I sort of explained some of the conditions with commission prices and explained why I price certain sizes as my condition and what those sizes entailed as far as what I would do for a commission. In this episode, I kind of promised that I would explain some of the misconceptions that I had when trying to find out about doing online commissions. And I kind of want to go into what you do need and what maybe you would need if you wanted to make doing commission work into a business or just doing art as a business and not a hobby, and what some of the differences as far as some of the sites that I went to and read through entail. So some things that you definitely need, and the first two, it doesn't necessarily matter what order you get these first two things, but you need these two things if you want to do online commission sales. So one of the first things I definitely believe you need is you need an email. You need a viable way for people to contact you online, and an email is free. It's the easiest thing to make. If you're going to make an email, maybe use your initials or use your name that you use on your social media, but make sure it's an appropriate name so maybe people can understand that it is related to your art, that it's related to you. Because sometimes if you have, for instance, I'm going to use a really old email that I don't use anymore. I think I had an email called like Black Goddess, and that doesn't seem very professional unless perhaps I'm doing sales in regards to magical enchantments and stuff. As far as art, like maybe it sounds cool, but some people may not take me seriously with that kind of email. So currently, if you look at my Gmail, it mimics my YouTube account and most of my other social media accounts. The second thing that I think you definitely need if you want to do online commissions and receive money for those commissions is you definitely need a bank account. And if you're going to have a bank account, maybe get a bank card as well. And it's going to be necessary for one of the next things you'll need. And depending on how old you are, you may need to get your parents' consent if you are doing commissions at, say, 16, just under the age of being an adult, maybe in your state or wherever you are. State laws differ for what they consider to be an adult, and banks will have different rules depending on state to state as to how early you can start an account with them. So, like I said, you may need your parents' consent. For me, I started a bank account when I was 16. Later on, added a checking account, and the checking account is very helpful because you can receive a debit card once you have a checking account. And there's some videos I think out there that explains the difference between ATM card, which you get if you have a savings account, which you can just use at ATMs, and I think some superstores that accept your card. And I think I had to get off this subject, but a debit card is more helpful because it's tied to a checking account and will usually mimic one of the main brands that you can use more freely around stores. So, other things you should keep in mind: you need an online banking app like PayPal. And this is going to tie in with your bank account. PayPal, I was concerned whether or not I needed a business account, professional account, or a casual account. And I found that I can indeed use a casual account because right now I consider receiving commissions for certain sizes as a hobby, not a business. And something that you don't need is you don't need to buy core membership or premium accounts for other sites like other social medias that are art platforms, and you don't have to make your own site. to start selling commissions, because once you get your PayPal account, it'll have a link that when people go to pay you through PayPal, you just send them that link when you're ready to give them the finished product, and they can make the payment and you'll see it automatically. So the last two things is you'll want some social media accounts so that you can create a portfolio that people can see, view, and sort of understand where and what kind of style you provide as far as your art goes. And the last thing, tying in with that portfolio, is that you have to have a post explaining what your commission prices are and why they are priced as such. And just always keep in mind exposure. So have as many social media accounts as you can showcasing your art, and that should give you attention for possible clients in the future. And those are some of the things that you definitely need if you want to do commissions and commission work, and things that you don't need but could use in the future if you decide that it's a business. And I'm thinking I might have to make a third video to explain the difference between art as a hobby and art as a business. But you don't need, again, those premium membership accounts. You don't need business cards. You don't need a business license, again, unless you have the intent that you are in art to make a profit. You're going to be making prints or merchandise at a wholesale sort of level and retail, and that you expect to receive tax deductions for your art costs. But I think, like I said, I should probably spend a whole video explaining the difference between art as a hobby and art as a business, because this is about all the time that we have in regards to this video. I hope that you are having a wonderfully crafty day wherever you are. If you want to find me and hang out with me on my other social media, I have a Twitter, a Tumblr, a Instagram, I have a Pinterest that I use for references, a recent Newgrounds account, and all the links to my accounts, also there's a DeviantArt, are in the description down below. And if you want to give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was very informative, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to do what you do to make that artwork for you. Lots of love. Bye.